Hi guys, Lavert here with eXp Realty Team Lavert in Las Vegas Valley. We are here with our backbone of Team Lavert, our dynamo, Miss Leslie Huntington. She helps us, the team, and everything else stay on track, keep us moving forward. And today we are going to be talking about stats. We're going to have a chat about the stats today. So with that, we're going to jump straight in. As you guys know, please subscribe down below as far as tapping that bell, hitting that button, all that kind of great stuff. So, Les, we're going to be jumping into the stats, into what's happening with our real estate. So I'm going to share our screen here. Hopefully we can make this a smooth transition. We'll see how that goes. And we have our first stats up. We'll come back to that a little bit later. So here we are. We're going to jump into these stats. So Les, if you can start talking to us a little bit about what we're looking at, what we're seeing, and inform these great people about what's happening here in the Las Vegas Valley.
Absolutely. So, hey, everybody. We're talking about single family residential primarily for today. So September of 2024, last month, the number of units sold in Clark County was 1,791. That's down from August of 2024, 16.2%. However, down a little bit under 2% from September of 2023.
So just to slow us down a little bit, we want to talk about those three numbers, Les, that you just shared with us.
Okay.
The fact of 1,791 units were sold. So that means single family homes, homes that are not attached to anything, homes that are not condos, freestanding homes or buildings in that sense, about 1,791 of them.
Correct.
Okay, good. And then when we talk about that growth from August, when we think about the growth, explain that a little bit more. Give us a little bit more clarity about what growth would look like and what that really means there.
Well, so it means that we sold less homes in September than we did in August by 16%.
Gotcha.
It
Yeah.
also means that if you look at September of 2024, we're also down a little bit. Not a significant amount year over year, 1.6%. So we felt it, from August, where it usually gets a little softer, then a little bit softer in September. So I think that's a normal trend.
Gotcha. Good.
That's a normal trend.
So nothing to jump off the roof about or jump off the bridge about or out the window or anything like that about. So we're good to go in that sense.
No, you don't. Chicken Little, the sky is not falling.
Correct. Exactly that. Good. The market isn't crashing.
No crash, no boom. We're kind of status quo.
Sort of holding steady. Okay, good. All right, good. Good to
Yeah.
know. But at the same time, a little bit down. That's 16%, 16.2% down, and a little bit down from our growth in that sense. So nothing over the top. So moving on from there. So just moving on from these numbers, what else would you like to share? No.
So want to talk about the number of new listings taken in September. That figure is 2,830. Again, we're talking about freestanding single family residential. So that figure is down from August by about 10.2%. Mm-hmm. However, up from September of 2023, about 15%. Okay. Again, these are not astronomically crazy, light your hair on fire kind of numbers.
So we're taking close to about 3,000 listings here, is what we took there. And again, from August, September kind of scenario, we're just down a little bit in that sense. But at the same time, we're better than we were last year as far as that growth number from 2023, about 15.6%.
Sales down, listings up.
Good. Because we're starting to see that a little bit in some of the other larger areas like the Floridas, the Texas. We know their inventory has is basically flipped. And guys, the biggest thing we want you guys to understand is every market is local. So you want to look
Yeah.
at different states, different cities, even different neighborhoods. You want to look at different neighborhoods. And that's why it's so important for you to talk to local experts like myself, like Leslie, in regards to what's happening specifically in your city, in your state, and even again, like I said, in your neighborhoods, where we really study these numbers. We can really help you understand, because what's happening down in Florida, and let's just do a shout out to Florida at the time of this video, we know that the hurricane is going to be hitting down there, and we're definitely sending out huge prayers to everyone. So hopefully everyone, as much as they possibly can either evacuate out of there, take care of themselves, take care of their loved ones. So we're sending out prayers and thoughts to everyone down there and making sure, hoping that everyone is safe there. But again, everything is going to be different, guys, in regards to each state, each market. The state is going to be, the state of Florida is definitely going to be different. The areas of Texas different than what's happening here. There's about 9 other states across the nation right now where their inventory is higher than the rest of the nation, because everyone is thinking, oh my God, inventory is low, inventory is low. Inventory is not low in every state. Inventory is not low in every city. Check with your local experts. Okay. So again, Les, 2830 as far as the number that we brought on, 10.2% as far as that number, as far as the growth, we're down that number. And then what's the positive is that we're a little bit higher than we were in 2023 in the sense that about 15%. But like you said as well, these numbers are not huge changes or anything.
They're not. They're not. I would call 2024 the year of the status quo. And I mean, there's been a lot of changes. Let's face it, there have been a lot of changes. However, I think the market here in Clark County has been pretty status quo. Yeah. Not big, huge highs, not big, huge lows. The good news is the median sales price for September was $479,900. So $479,900.
And that's a great number, because a lot of people, so this is the thing too, Les. So with that number, 479,900, with rates adjusted, I'm sure you'll talk to us about that a little bit. Rates adjusted and all that kind of good stuff. Most people think, oh my God, the rates are going down. The rates are going down. This is going to be great for us. So that means maybe prices will adjust. Maybe I can get into a house now. All that kind of great stuff. So talk to us a little bit about that, with you talking to us about that 479 being our average here in Las Vegas.
Well, that is a median. Let's just be clear. That's the median sales price. So there really was not much of a change from August. Yeah. People are saying, oh, we've got so much inventory, which, we really don't. It's gotten a little bit better, but we don't. And then again, pretty much status quo. That number has stayed pretty much around that 475-ish for the last few months. So we can't also remember, we can't look at 30 days and say that that's everything. It's only 30 days. When we start looking at trends, we need more of 3 or 4 months to call a trend. So I love the news. However, they want to jump on the little weird nuances that are not really nuances. Exactly. They're not the big picture. So we're looking at just a monthly snapshot.
Correct. And the news is reporting stuff that's already happened. They're reporting about stuff that's already happened. They aren't necessarily the most updated, the most current in regards to what's truthfully happening. And we do have another chart that we sort of flashed to you guys earlier. Well, we'll show you like the last 7 days of what's really been happening here in Las Vegas. So that's the most current, most up-to-date information as far as what's happening here.
Let me say one thing too. Sorry for interrupting you, Levert, that our time on the market for units sold, 61% of those new units sold are selling in the first 30 days. Yeah. That's a huge number. So almost 3/4 of the market of what the units that were sold for that month were only on the market less than 30 days.
Yeah, exactly. So
if you're priced right, you're going to sell in 30 days.
That's exactly it. And that's the tough part because I think we're doing that dance between buyers being excited, which they should be, and sellers being excited, which they should be, because we do have a
Yeah.
great opportunity. We have those folks that are excited about these interest rates dropping. So that is bringing a few more of our sellers, not a lot of them. Everyone's not rushing to the market, but we're
No.
coming into the market. Some of our buyers are slowly coming into the market. And after I make my statement here, talk to us a little bit about that scenario about sellers take or buyers taking a little bit of time, maybe thinking about trying to time the market. Talk to us about that after I make this statement here. But
Okay.
we do have a little bit of those folks slowly creeping in. So I know a lot of people were thinking that, okay, great, with these interest rates, that should open us up all of a sudden and just let the floodgates open. That's not really happening in that sense. So with that being said, Les, in regards to maybe the mentality about the buyers and mentality about the sellers with these interest rates adjusting or maybe trying to time the market.
If you wait and try to time the market, historically, that doesn't work for you. A lot of times you're like waiting for something to happen. I'm going to wait for the interest rates to come down, which they've come down this year.
Mm-hmm.
They've creeped up a little bit. We'll talk about that in a second. So if you're waiting for the perfect moment, you're going to be looking back going, what happened? Because you're always waiting. The time for your family, if you need to purchase, is always now, because you're never going to time the market perfectly. It just doesn't work that way.
And I know it sounds like a cheesy thing, but we hear it all the time. It's not timing the market. We hear this all the time. It's time in the market. You've got to have much more time in the market. It's like your credit and all that kind of good stuff. The longer you've had your credit, the longer that you've been consistent about your credit, the longest that you've been great about handling your credit, is going to be a better scenario for you. With this, the more time you have in the market, the more time you have your money working for you, the more time that you have your wealth building for you and growing for you. That's why generational wealth is so important. We want to make sure that we have generational wealth. I know there was a stat that came out in some article that talked about the year 2053, that African Americans were almost not going to have any generational wealth. Now, that's a huge thing. Hear that. 2053, this article was talking about African Americans were not going to have any generational wealth. Yes, we will have a lot of us out there making great income. But income and wealth are totally two different things. Mm-hmm. The Oprah Winfrey's, there's a new guy that just made $11.4 billion. This great man who happens to be black, who happens to be African American. All of those types of things, those people are there. They're going to be making that wealth, but they're going to be making that income. But they're going to be passing that income on to more and more people. They're having more time in the market where they're passing that wealth on. And when you can pass that wealth on, or when you can spend more time in the real estate market, that's when you're truthfully growing the wealth. So please hear what Leslie was saying. It's not about timing the market. Please don't waste your time timing the market. Please get into the market. Get in sometimes with your starter home. Get in sometimes with your first-time home buyer. We had a first-time home buyer that purchased a 1.6 million. Is that right? What we did last week?
Yep.
They purchased a 1.6 million. It was absolutely incredible. That was a first-time home buyer, but they did have generational wealth that allowed that particular person to be able to come in and purchase their first-time home. But it would just happen to be 1.6. So get in the market. Sometimes you have to get in with a starter home in order to move that starter home, to move on to your next, to have that starter home build your wealth. So again, we're not going to be a part of that 2053 number where we're talking about African Americans, people of color, not being able to pass on wealth, not being able to have wealth. Build your wealth now. You've got to put it in something where your money is working. All right. Thank you guys for allowing me to do my little rant there, but that's away from the past a little bit.
Rant of the day.
Exactly. So before we move on from this, Les, anything else that we want to point out as far as these numbers are concerned within those numbers are telling us? And again, like you clarified before, this is specifically about the single family homes. So tell us the difference between singles, townhomes, and all that kind of good stuff as well, Les.
So your single family residential, it's not attached to another unit. Your condos, townhomes, they share some kind of common wall. normally. So I'm talking strictly about single family homes. I did want to point out one thing too, which has been creeping up, is the effective availability. So we now have a 3-month effective availability, meaning this: we have it would if no other new listings came to the market in 3 months, we would run out of inventory. So what I've always been taught from all my mentors over my 30 years is that 3 to 4 months of effective availability of inventory is a normal market. So we're really, like I say that 2024 was the year of status quo, or is the year of status quo. So I think that's always an interesting number to take a look at. A few months ago, we had like 1.5 months of inventory. Now we're double that.
Yep, exactly. Good. So those numbers are creeping up. So 3, 4, 5 months, maybe a little bit more of a, more like 4, 5, 6, a little bit more of a balanced market between buyers and sellers.
Yeah, historically for Clark County.
Exactly. Okay, good. Yeah, and so, and with that said, guys, again, even though we're at that 3%, we're up there. We're creeping up. We're getting back up there. We're still seeing higher numbers. That 479,000 that we have circled here at the top, that number, our high from a couple of years ago. I think we were like, what, 479, 480, Les, we got to.
Yeah, when we were in 2022, when we had that big burst of multiple offers, 5, 6, 7, 8 offers on a property, we're not really seeing that.
We dropped down from that 479, we dropped down to 425, and now we have made our ways back up to that 9 number. So again, prices have not fallen. So I know a lot of people are out there making a lot of likes, making a lot of videos, getting a lot of looks, saying the sky is falling and doomsday is happening and so forth and so on. Oh, but you wait, now the interest rates are happening. Oh, you wait, there's a war going on. All of those things are happening. We can never ever guarantee that something is going to stay where it is. We definitely want to factor those things in for sure. But again, with all of those things that have been happening for the last 4 years, that we have heard people talk about how much the real estate market is going to crash and how much we're going to be falling down, we again have gotten ourselves back up to 479,900 as far as our median here in Las Vegas. So again, time in the market. Get yourself in the market. So before I move on to that last little chart that I want to show them, those last 7 days, Les, anything else specifically that we wanted to point out here before we move them on to this next chart really quickly?
Yeah, just to let you know, the FHA 30-year fixed is up a bit now, 6.12 today. A couple of weeks ago, it was 5.79. So again, you're never going to be able to time the market properly, or not properly, perfectly. So it's like Lavert said, it's time in the market. Get in, jump in. You may have a starter home. Not everybody's going to be at that, over $1 million starter home. However, there's starter homes out there for you.
There really are. And so again, just to clarify that layman's terms a little bit. So we were just talking about the fact that the FHA, the first time home buyer, that number is up or down to that 6.1, which is great, because everyone was talking about, we're waiting for these numbers to fall. They have fallen.
They did fall. They come back up.
Yeah, exactly. They fall.
They're lower this year than they have been in a while.
Long time.
I mean, we were almost at 8%. Yeah. We're not there now.
We were, yeah. And then I think your lender, one of the lenders that sends information over to us, they were sort of kind of sending some things over to you that you wanted to point out to everyone in that sense. Is that correct? Do we have something there, or?
Yeah, give me a second to go back. So
no worries. While Les is looking for that, it's just that reiteration again, guys, that we want to make sure that we are reaching out. This is the biggest thing too. We had buyers looking at properties this week. They were thinking that they had things situated. They didn't talk to us as professionals. They didn't talk to the lenders. They talked to one lender with the builder. The builder couldn't get them qualified. We were able to get our vendors talking to them, and we were able to get them qualified. It is important that you reach out to us first as your real estate agent. We will have vendors, we will have members that we will refer you to put your team together to make sure we are taking care of your needs. We want vendors talking to you from your lenders, from your us as your real estate agents, from a stager if you're selling your home, whatever those things are. We want you talking to those professionals so that you get that information and you can look at all of your options. You truly know all of your options. Okay, a little bit of rant again there. Leslie, go for it.
So just a little bit of economics 101. Remember, and I'll thank my mortgage lender for this news, because it was a good reminder for me too. Remember, good economic news makes mortgage rates go up. Bad economic news makes them go down. So we've had some good economic news as far as the jobs report last week, rise in wages. Looks like, I'm not a predictor, so I'm listening to people out there. We may just avoid that recession. So remember, good economic news, mortgage rates go up. Bad, they go down.
Yeah. And I know the feds have stated even by the end of the year that we may be getting another one of those Fed rate cuts. So with all this economic news coming in, but at the same time, we have other things that are happening as well. The wars, we have all those different types of things. What's really going to happen with the fact of another Fed rate cut? Is it going to be that point, a half a point that we just got? Is it going to be a quarter? Is there going to be another Fed rate cut? So
yeah, they may decide not to because of the good economic news.
100%. But the bottom line is this: don't worry about what's happening with those things. Don't worry about what I know it's easy to say. Don't worry about what's happening with those. Be aware of those things, but don't allow those things to stop you. If you have done your work, you have prepared, you have saved, you have met with your professionals, you have gotten yourself ready to get into this market. Get in this market now. Builders are still working with our buyers right now to help them get even lower interest rates. They're helping them towards their broker fee that they have to now pay, which is a big thing. They're helping them towards getting the number down as far as their interest rates, and they're getting them some great deals as far as those numbers. When these interest rates really, really, really start to improve, what do you think is going to happen with these builders and these sellers that were offering all of these things?
They'll pull back.
Yep, they're definitely going to pull back.
They'll pull back because they won't need to.
Right. They won't need to offer these things in order to get these properties sold. And again, we know right now, especially right now during the holidays, we know especially at the end of the year, holidays, people slow down. Yep. People want to be into their homes. People want to enjoy their holidays. It is a fantastic time to get out there in the market because only serious people are going to be involved in this.
Yeah. Nobody likes to be out shopping in the middle of the holidays, only if they have a necessity. So think about it. If you've got buyers looking at your property, they're more than likely have a reason. Otherwise, they're going to be home drinking, hot cocoa with their family, looking at their Christmas tree lights. So
all the kind of good stuff and getting ready.
If you're thinking about jumping in and putting your house on the market, do not wait until January. Historically, January inventory swells. You're going to stand apart more during those October, November, December season than you will get lost in January shuffle.
For sure. Okay, good. I think we've been giving them a lot of great information. So I think we've been berating and pointing the fingers at them already. So let's jump over one more time to this last 7 day really quickly. And then we're going to let these great people have their time back. So the last thing that we want to share with you is going to be, we've jumped into our MLS, our multiple listing service here in the Las Vegas area. On our MLS, I'm just going to move you and I out of the way here, Les, above this note. And on our MLS, we are looking at the last 7 days. We see here that our new listings That number is about 1,048 over the last 7 days. That's a big number. These big numbers here we want to look at about 1,048. Look at this here. Price decreases. 1,063. That number is bigger than this number. So what we have coming into the market, we have actually seen price decreases being larger in regards to people making adjustments on their price. So they're not, again, the sky is not falling. People are not dropping huge and drastically, yet people are making adjustments in order for them to get to this blue sold number. They want to join the sold camp versus hanging out with the rest. That's why our inventory is going up. Because yes, people are holding back a little bit. People are taking some time. That's great. That's a great opportunity for buyers. Yet at the same time, our sellers are getting to the reality where they need to be in order for them to jump into that sold. So with that being said, guys, a lot of still great opportunities are out there. Get involved. Thank you, Les, for joining me today on this. I appreciate it 100%. Make sure you reach out to us.
My pleasure.
In regards to folks that are looking at this as far as our stats, again, click that number down below, click that subscription down below, click that bell. 91% of you are watching. We love it. Keep watching. Reach out when you're ready, when you have questions, and even reach out before you're ready. Because again, like we said, we want to make sure that you aren't sitting back thinking that you're not ready. And if you talk to a real estate agent, talk to a professional like Leslie and I, we can put that strategy together for you and that way help you get involved a little bit sooner than you probably think. So with that, guys, again, thank you, Leslie, for joining us. And with that, we will see you guys in the next video. Take care. We have seen that 91% of you watching our videos actually are not even subscribed. If you're enjoying the content, go ahead, tap that bell down below so that you can subscribe and not miss out on future videos when we release them. It helps us bring you more great content, and you'll be the first to know when we drop new videos.